Eric Bischoff in the Hall of Fame, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa beating the hell out of each other, LeBron James wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt on 316 Day, and more tonight. This is the hashtag PWOGs report.
Hashtag that.
Filipino wrestling. Filipino wrestling.
Good evening and welcome to the hashtag PWOGs report, where we bring you weekly news from all around the wrestling world. I am one of your co-anchors, the Señorito Jake De Leon, and let me throw it over to my tag team partner, the social media sinister, Ken Warren.
Thanks, JDL. And this is yours truly, the hashtag Candid Attention Bandit, Ken Warren, and worry not. I'll proceed with the first news for tonight. First up, we got Eric Bischoff and the WWE Hall of Fame. This past March 18 episode of After the Bell with Corey Graves and Vic Joseph, Corey broke the news to the special guest Eric Bischoff that he will be inducted in the 2021 WWE Hall of Fame.
But if somebody would have come up to me and said, in 2021, you and Vern Gagne are going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, my head would have exploded. It would have been incomprehensible. It would have been the same thing as somebody coming up to me and saying, someday you're going to swim laps up on Mars. I was like, what?
Now, I've been waiting to sing, he's back, and he's better than ever, got a knack for making things better in this year's class of the WWE Hall of Fame. Talk about controversy creates cash. It's just liberating to not bash and honor the contributions of one of Vince McMahon's greatest rivals, on and off cam, and one Eric Bischoff. Needless to say, congratulations, Mr. Bischoff.
This past week on AEW, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Thunder Rosa made history when they both competed in the first ever Lights Out match to happen on AEW Dynamite. And all this reporter has to say is, both women took each other to the limit, bringing out tables, ladders, chairs, thumbtacks, anything that was under the sun, you name it, they used it to beat the living hell out of each other. Now, these professional wrestlers left everything in that ring, left their hearts out in that ring, and all I have to say on behalf of the hashtag PWOGs report, thank you. Thank you so much for doing what you do to entertain the fans and putting your bodies on the line and risking it all just to put a smile or whatever reaction on our faces. Amigos and amigas, if there is one wrestling match that you have to watch that came from this week, this would be it.
Up next, we got Rich Swann unifying the Impact World titles. This past March 13, 2021 at Sacrifice, Rich Swann made history as he overcame Moose to unify the Impact World title and the TNA World Heavyweight title. Furthermore, at this week's Impact tapings, Invisible Hand Don Callis interrupted Swann's first promo as the unified Impact World Champion to do what Don does best: speak false praise to a talent and put over the god among insects that is the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega. So, the question remains this upcoming April 24 at Rebellion. Which champion gets to brag the hashtags hashtag and still, hashtag and new all night long? Rich Swann or Kenny Omega?
In wrestling news that makes me very, very happy, Smiley Kylie Rae is back. Now, Rae announced her retirement from pro wrestling back in November of 2020. But just this week, Warrior Wrestling tweeted out that she will be making her pro wrestling return and she will be defending her Warrior Wrestling Championship against La Mera Mera, the queen of the Lights Out match herself, Thunder Rosa. All I have to say is, no matter what you're going through, Kylie Rae, I hope that you found your happy. I hope that you continue to keep finding your happy. And I'm just so glad to see you back in that professional wrestling ring. Happy return.
In more news, Cross versus Balor for the NXT title. In this week's NXT, the number one contender for the NXT title, Karrion Kross, teamed up with NXT champion Finn Balor to challenge for the NXT tag team titles of Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Keep in mind, it's Scarlett who seduced her way to Burch and Lorcan's egos to get this match to happen through the premonition of two champions dripping in gold when Kross interrupted Balor's promo at the start of the show. Quick side note, although this was a good match, I'm sure it would have been great if Burch didn't take a nasty fall on his shoulder early in the match. We wish him a speedy recovery. Going back to the topic at hand, it's interesting to know how Kross costed the tag team title match for Balor and himself as Finn accidentally shotgun dropkicked Oney to Scarlett, leaving Kross obviously livid at Balor, which eventually led to a devastating running European uppercut from Lorcan to Balor for the NXT Tag Champs to retain. Now, who doesn't love a power couple who can talk? Since Kross in technicality is not undefeated anymore, leading into NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver for the NXT Championship, I can't help but wonder who chokes in this fire of a main event. Karrion Kross or Finn Balor.
This past week on Monday Night Raw, Braun Strowman was slimed.
Big boy, what I say you were? I said you were stupid, didn't I? Didn't I?
Oh, what the? God.
Yes, Shane McMahon proceeded to slime the monster among men as he continuously insulted Braun for being stupid. Well, of course Braun was stupid. The only reason that Shane McMahon was sliming him right now was because when he was growing up, he never got any of the answers on Figure It Out right. I wonder if people still get the Figure It Out reference. I still love you, Lori Beth Denberg and Danny Tamborelli. Thank you.
Up next, we got WWE and Cotton On collab. Get ready, Southeast Asia. There's a new collab in town and it's making its way to the nearest Cotton On branch in your country. WWE x Cotton On. In a low-key, or should I say indie underground fashion, it was announced on WWE Southeast Asia official Twitter account on March 18 the latest shirt stable of WWE and Australian retail giant Cotton On. This latest drip drop definitely got people on Twitter tweeting, as 10 lucky fans will get a chance to win fresh swag just by sharing their most memorable #WrestleMania moment on their tweet thread. In my humble opinion, as a vintage wrestling shirt collector myself, the first set of releases has a very Kmart approach when it comes to the design, but it's like the saying goes, beggars can't be choosers. Despite having a long-haired Triple H on a 2021 WWE shirt design and giving The Rock a solo print with a WWE logo on it this day and age. I see what you did there, WWE. Always thinking of the bigger picture. Thinking mainstream to be mainstream. No wonder I grew up such a hipster.
Now on to some more wrestling news. Kinda. LeBron James was seen sporting a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt on 316 Day, which is March 16 for those who don't know what 316 Day is, where he scored 25 points, grabbed 12 rebounds, and grabbed 12 assists against the Minnesota Timberwolves. LeBron James' love for pro wrestling has been well documented, from taking photos on his flip phone at Monday Night Raw, to wearing an Undertaker shirt when the Cavs were down 3-1 to the Warriors in the finals, and wearing an Ultimate Warrior shirt when his Cavs beat the Warriors in the same finals series. Now, as a Lakers fan, I'm not going to look too much into this, but if we do win the championship this year, I wholeheartedly expect, I totally expect LeBron James to grab that mic and cut a promo on everyone and say, "You talk about your Psalms, you talk about your John 3:16. Well, LeBron 3:16 says the Lakers just whip your ass." You better do it, LeBron.
Now, let's take it over to a news segment we're calling Acknowledge Me News.
Acknowledge me.
where we take the wrestling news that we didn't have time to make jokes for and list them for you here.
To start off, we have Walter finally joining Imperium on NXT. We have Finn Juice defeating the Good Brothers on Impact to become the new tag team champions. We have the New Day winning their 11th tag team championships and will be facing AJ Styles and Giant Omos on WrestleMania for those tag team championships. We have Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura being announced for WWE Fastlane. Whew. And we have Edge becoming the special ringside enforcer in the WWE Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan.
On my end, I have Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil are the official hosts of WrestleMania this year. Logan Paul responds to Sami Zayn's comments on SmackDown via Twitter. John Morrison and CM Punk rock a mullet. Brothers. The Miz gets beefy on the road to WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley makes her main roster debut on Raw next week. LA Knight victorious in NXT debut. And lastly, an earthquake happened and caught on tape during an NJPW New Japan Cup match. And that's it for Acknowledge Me news.
Now let's get on with the weather. With the AWGC Junior Heavyweight title making its way to Thailand, we at the hashtag PWOGs report felt it was fitting that we have Set Up Thailand Pro Wrestling's own Pumi to be our special guest weatherman for today. Hit us with the weather, Pumi!
Weather report.
Hello wrestling fans in Southeast Asia, long time no see. This is Pumi from Set Up Thailand Pro Wrestling. And as you know, we have a collaboration with Hong Kong Wrestling Federation HKWF, and this is the brand new AWGC Junior Heavyweight titles. You can see we have a Thai flag here, right? So we're gonna have the new champion in the next 2 months. And I can say that the new champion is gonna be Thai wrestler, so I'm so excited for that. So please support us. We are doing our best during the pandemic, and these are the new titles. Hope you enjoy. See you again next time.
Oh, whoa. Well, that was still not a weather report, but thank you, Pumi, for giving us what the climate in the Thailand pro wrestling scene is now, I guess. But anyway, with how Set Up Thailand Pro Wrestling and Hong Kong Wrestling Federation are partnering up to bring the AWGC Junior Heavyweight title over to Thailand, and with Thailand having wrestling shows, I can still definitely say that we are very, very envious of your situation, and we wish you all the best in your upcoming show. Now, what did you think, Tagamigo?
Well, my word, we've been getting a lot of informative weather reports lately. First, it was Ho-Ho last week, and this week it's Pumi of Set Up Thailand. Tagamigo, they're simply explaining, sharing the current weather in the wrestling world. In my opinion, it's the same as what Ho-Ho did last week. I like it. It's good. It's good.
Finally, let's take it over to our take of the week.
Take of the week.
For this week, we're tackling the announced intergender matchup between Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton happening tomorrow at WWE Fastlane, and what is, I think, one of the very few times that the WWE has promoted an intergender tag team match. Now, my thoughts about this: can we actually call this an intergender match? And can we still call Alexa Bliss a female, let alone a human at that, with the amount of supernatural mumbo jumbo that she's been doing to Randy Orton as of late? Now, call it what you want, call it what you may. If it is an intergender tag team match, it is an intergender tag team match. But I'm just saying that with all the supernatural mumbo jumbo happening around Alexa Bliss, I don't think she's even human anymore. I don't even know what she is, but I am all about this match. Call me Randy Orton spitting out black goo, because I am gagged, darling. And I cannot wait to see what this matchup has in store for us, or even if The Fiend will be making an appearance. What did you think, Tagamigo?
Although I'm not a big fan of intergender matches, an exclusion has been made for this particular intergender match between Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss. top talents in the WWE. Makes me remember random simulations in the WWE Universe mode back when it was a thing. Just the idea alone of these two superstars facing each other got me intrigued. But I can't help but think of these words. And I'm not talking about let me in. I'm talking about we're here.
Well, that is it for our take of the week, and that is it for the hashtag PWOGs report. Catch us every Sunday at 8 p.m. here on the hashtag PWOGs YouTube channel, where we bring you wrestling news from all around the world.
And as always, make sure to follow us on our social media at VKenWarren and at SenoritaJDL. Plus, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the hashtag PWOGs YouTube channel.
This has been the hashtag PWOGs report. Signing off.
Signing off.
I think we got that one. I think we really got that one this time. Don't you think so?
Hashtag that.
Filipino wrestling. Filipino wrestling.